The story begins with an ambulance speeding down the road, sirens blaring. A patient lies motionless on the stretcher of a young man fighting for his life. But before reaching the hospital, he takes his final breath. Luckily, the man had already signed up for organ donation, meaning his body would give life to others. Soon, two doctors begin the surgery to remove his organs. But something feels strange. The man's skin is unbelievably tough, almost like armor. The doctors struggle to make the first incision. After hours of effort, they finally finish, but just as they prepare to close up, a nurse screams and rushes out of the operation theater. The doctors turn around and what they see is beyond belief. The patient's entire body starts turning to ash, disappearing right before their eyes. Cut to a few days later, the man's heart is transplanted into a young woman named Lisa. Surprisingly, her body doesn't reject the new heart. In fact, she recovers almost instantly. Within a day or two, the hospital discharges her, calling it a medical miracle. But then something odd happens. A strange, circular mark appears on Lisa's hand, like a tattoo she never made. Lisa's father runs a taekwondo gym. Since childhood, she loved martial arts. But during one of her matches, she suffered a sudden heart attack, the reason her father never let her fight again. One afternoon, while her father was busy talking to their landlord, Lisa kicked a punching bag just for fun, and the bag went flying, tearing off the ceiling and crashing down. Lisa froze. She had never been this strong before. Confused yet excited, she decided to test her strength. She laced up her shoes and started running uphill. Within seconds, she overtook a speeding scooter and felt like she could literally fly. But when the road sloped downward, she lost control and crashed into a parked truck, hitting it so hard that it nearly flipped over. Whatever had happened after that heart transplant, Lisa was no ordinary girl anymore. Someone had secretly recorded Lisa's incredible truck accident and uploaded it online. In the video, her taekwondo uniform clearly showed her name and the name of her father's gym. A boy watching the video zoomed in, read the name, and immediately rushed to the gym. From a distance, he tried to click her photo, but before he could, Lisa appeared right next to him, grabbing his wrist in a flash. The boy was shocked. How can she move this fast? Lisa demanded. Who are you? That's when he showed her something strange, the same circular mark on his hand. His name was Tom, and he revealed that he had also received an organ from the same donor as her. That's why he too had supernatural abilities. He explained, a single donor can give away 6 organs, which means there must be 6 of us, 6 people with powers like ours. Tom wanted to find the rest of them. And surprisingly, the very next day, they met the third person. That day, Lisa secretly entered a street race. The prize was a pair of expensive shoes. She easily outran everyone and won the race. While she admired her new shoes, an older woman walked up to her, handing out free drinks. She told them, I had a kidney transplant recently, and now I feel completely healthy again. Hearing this, Lisa and Tom immediately checked her hands, but there was no strange mark. Then, as the woman turned around, they saw the same circular tattoo, right on her lower back. In a luxurious mansion across the city, an old man named Vino lay dying in bed. His daughter was furious. She yelled at the doctor on the phone, You said my father would recover, but he's getting worse. But before she could finish, something impossible happened. The old man slowly sat up, looked around, and said calmly, I'm hungry. Get me some food. Everyone was stunned. Within minutes, Nino looked stronger, younger, healthier. And yes, he too had that same mark on his hand. It was now clear Nino also carried a piece of that mysterious power. Cut to an electronics store. A young man casually snaps his fingers, and every TV screen in the shop goes black. Wherever he goes, the lights flicker. His name is Zero, another recipient of the donor's organs. He uses his electricity-based powers to cheat in gaming machines, win jackpots, and live a luxury life. Zero's world is now on easy mode. He's rich, famous, and having fun. But soon, destiny will bring all of them together. Lisa met Tom and Sophia for dinner so they could share their strange new powers. Tom explained first, I got new lungs. If I blow hard enough, a storm appears. Sophia confessed she hadn't felt any power yet. Tom reassured her, when all the chosen people gather, your power will awaken. Just then, the lights above them started flickering, and Zero made his entrance. He already knew the three of them. He explained that from a fair distance, he could sense if someone had superpowers because he had received transplanted eyes. Tom didn't really like this new guy. He told Lisa, "We can't trust everyone so easily. One of us could be the bad one who wants all the power for themselves. We'll have to be careful who we trust." The next day, Lisa got a strange message on her phone. Zero had asked her for help and called her somewhere. Apparently, he'd been caught cheating while gambling, and now the casino's security guards wanted all their money back. Lisa said, "You just wiggle your fingers and move electricity around." The three of them went to help him, but Tom didn't want to. He didn't like Zero much, so scratching his leg, he went to the restroom instead. But the hero inside Lisa woke up. She said, "It's important to fight against injustice." She took a straw from Sophia's drink and placed it under Tom's nose. That made Tom sneeze violently, and a massive gust of wind blew away all the goons. Then we cut back to the rich old man Mino. He was having an argument with his business partner. The fight got so heated that Mino grabbed his partner by the neck and drained the life out of him. His partner aged rapidly into an old man and died, while Mino became somewhat younger. Then Mino touched a nearby plant, drained its life too, and left it completely dried out. Next, we see John at a factory, pressuring the workers, "Move your hands faster, we'll have to work all night." One worker angrily stood up and said, "Sir, you're wrong, you're overworking us. We have lives too." As they argued, the alarm suddenly rang. The worker had fallen from above because of poor safety measures. When no one was looking, John quietly placed his hand over the injured worker's wound. Within seconds, the man's injury healed completely, but John felt immense pain and went aside silently to endure it. Meanwhile, the old man's daughter, Tina, had realized that her father's new powers definitely came from the transplant. She ordered her team, "Find everyone who got organs from that transplant." Soon, her assistant found them all. At that time, the heroes were fleeing from casino goons, riding on top of Sophia's drinks delivery car. Tina's assistant noticed them and began to chase. 3 cars sped down the road wildly. Lisa kept pushing the car harder, driving faster and faster until she left the pursuers far behind. But the casino men weren't giving up. Tom pulled some drinks from the car and threw them at the goons. The white liquid splattered on their windshields, confusing them. The 4 escaped, but the car sped too much and crashed into a barbecue restaurant. They all acted casual. "We're just waiting here. Why isn't any waiter coming?" Default text. They didn't leave until night. Later, Tom started arguing with Zero. "Because of you, we nearly died today." The fight grew so intense that they all split up and went their separate ways. Lisa was deeply hurt. She'd been on medical leave for a year, hadn't gone to school, and had no friends. Tom and Sophia had become her world, and now it was shattered. The next day, when things calmed down, Tom came to apologize. "I overreacted in anger. Sorry, Lisa. Forgive me." Lisa pretended to be upset at first, then forgave him. She then planned to bring everyone together again. Meanwhile, Tina's assistant showed her a recorded video, and Tina decided, "We have to capture these people. If we extract their powers, we can create miracle drugs, cures for diseases, and I'll become even richer." Lisa, Sophia, and Zero had already reached the meeting point. During that time, Zero had also found out who received the liver transplant. They were just waiting for Tom, so they could find this new member together. At the factory, John was talking to his senior, "Sir, we need to improve worker safety." But the higher-ups didn't care about the workers' lives. John was under such pressure that he even skipped lunch to meet deadlines. No one noticed a gas tank nearby slowly leaking. Outside the factory, the 3 superheroes were still waiting for Tom when suddenly a loud explosion occurred. John rushed to get all the workers out safely, but one worker was trapped behind a safety door. John panicked and tried breaking the window with his helmet, but it didn't work. Just then, Lisa arrived. She kicked the door open with force, knocking away flying gas canisters. But the electronic security door inside was too strong. Now Zero stepped in. With one snap, he opened it instantly. Tom finally arrived, though late. The place was full of smoke. The injured workers couldn't be found. Then Zero snapped his fingers again, turning on everyone's phone ringtones, which helped Tom locate them easily. Tom, with his powerful lungs, could hold his breath for a long time, so he moved through the smoke and rescued the workers. When one was brought out injured, John placed his hand on him and healed him immediately, but John coughed up blood in pain. Sophia realized John's lungs had absorbed toxic gas. She grabbed his hand with one hand and Tom's with the other. She could link their powers together. Tom's lung power transferred into John, healing him instantly. That's when Sophia discovered her own power, the ability to connect and transfer powers. As toxic smoke filled the factory, they planned to escape quickly. Everyone started running out, but Sophia suddenly stopped midway. They had left Zero behind. Tom inhaled deeply and went back inside. Everyone thought he'd blow the gas away, but instead, he gave Zero mouth-to-mouth to save him. It looked awkward, but it worked. Zero was safe. Later, all five went to a nearby restaurant to eat. John explained, "I got the power to heal anyone by taking their pain into myself." John explained, "I got the power to heal anyone by taking their pain into myself. It hurts a lot, but drinking water helps me recover." After working together on this mission, they all formed a strong bond. The next day, John visited his injured coworkers at the hospital. In the elevator, he ran into the old man Minnow, who was actually his company's owner. John greeted him, but Minnow noticed the strange mark on John's palm. "Is that a tattoo?" he asked. John replied nervously, "No, sir. I had a liver transplant recently. Somehow this mark just appeared." When Minnow asked if he'd noticed any other changes, John hesitated. It felt weird to talk about superpowers, so he said, "No, sir. I just feel healthy. That's all." Minnow quietly made a plan, memorizing John's name and workplace. That night, John was driving a cab to earn extra money. His passenger, none other than Tina's assistant. Later, John woke up in a hospital. Tina told the doctors, "Quick, remove his liver." But before the operation began, Minnow arrived. His intentions were dark. He asked the doctor, "If a part of the liver is left behind, does it grow back?" When the doctor said yes, Minnow grabbed John by the neck and tried to drain his life force, but it didn't work on John. He tried it on another doctor. The man aged rapidly and died. Minnow realized his power didn't work on other superpowered people. He ordered, "Cut 90% of John's liver and transplant it into me. Leave 10% so it grows back." Tina, frustrated at not getting the liver, commanded her team, "Capture the rest of the powered people." Meanwhile, Tom was leaving a store when bodyguards in suits pinned him against the wall. They tried to knock him out with anesthesia gas, but he wasn't breathing. So they tickled him to make him gasp, and that's when he finally inhaled and passed out. Sophia and Zero were also attacked and soon captured. Finally, at Lisa's home, goons surrounded her. Her father said bravely, "Don't worry, dear. I'll handle them." But her father was only good at teaching 14-year-olds now, not fighting goons. Lisa fought them silently so that her dad would think he was winning. Every time he looked back, she'd sit calmly on the bench, pretending she hadn't moved. When the goons ran away, her father rushed to her, "Are you okay, dear?" Lisa was safe, but everyone else had been captured. Tina's men locked them in a special prison that blocked their powers. After the liver transplant, Minnow regained his healing power. He was young again, even younger than his own daughter. Deep down, Tina had been waiting for her father to die so she could inherit the company. But now, seeing him young again, she realized she might die before him. Minnow went home, showered, and admired his youthful body in the mirror. Suddenly, everything turned dark. He found himself in another dimension. A mysterious energy stood before him with open arms. Minnow reached out to touch it, but the force pulled him in. His face kept changing, young to old, old to young. Enraged, he broke free and realized it was all happening in his mind. The cut on his hand healed instantly. But he still wasn't satisfied. Now he wanted to collect all the organs, all the powers. He wanted to become God so that people would worship him. Tina couldn't stop him. Minnow stormed into the prison she'd built and started beating her guards. None of them could stand against his power. Soon he found the 3 captured heroes. At that moment, Zero was trying to snap his fingers using his toes because his hands were tied. When he succeeded, 2 guards came to take him away. He snapped again with his toes this time, sending a message to Lisa with his location. One more snap, and Sophia's cell door unlocked, but a doctor immediately sedated him. Meanwhile, Lisa was preparing to rescue her friends. When her father found out, he insisted on coming along. Zero had already lost one eye, its cornea had been removed. Fortunately, he woke up just in time, saving the other eye. Minnow, instead of killing him, left him with John. By then, John's liver had started healing slowly. He held Zero's hand and healed his damaged eye. To showcase his power, Minnow held a public event, inviting people with incurable diseases. Everyone was stunned to see his restored youth. He demonstrated his strength by punching a wall, leaving the imprint of his old, aged face on it. But instead of worship, people were terrified. So Minnow changed his tactic. He held a disabled man's hands and healed him completely, then cured a very sick girl too. Now, people truly saw him as a god and bowed before him. Suddenly, Minnow sensed Lisa approaching. He snapped his fingers, opening a pathway for her, and sat on a grand throne as she and her father arrived. Lisa immediately realized he was draining others' powers. Without thinking, she kicked him hard. Minnow's arm actually broke, but as soon as he drank water, it healed. Then Sophia and Tom arrived. The three friends reunited. Minnow said angrily, "Perfect. You all came together. Now give me your organs quickly." Lisa's father, still overconfident, charged toward Minnow, but Minnow just waved his hand and sent him flying. Lisa used her speed to save her father just in time. Then an intense fight broke out between her and Minnow. Explosions shook the place. Walls crumbled. Lisa only had one organ's power, while Minnow had three. He overpowered her quickly. Tom and Sophia rushed to help. Tom blew a massive gust, sending Minnow flying. Enraged, Minnow tapped Tom's forehead, knocking him unconscious. Then he grabbed Sophia, but she started absorbing his power. Minnow was shocked. He realized Sophia could transfer powers. "Good," he said. "Give me the others' powers too. Then I won't need to steal organs anymore." Just then, Zero and John arrived. Now all five stood together against Minnow. Minnow gathered his power to destroy them all at once. Lisa stood at the front. She whistled a signal to Tom. Tom understood and blew a strong gust toward Lisa, launching her forward with incredible speed. Lisa used that momentum to punch Minnow with all her might. They all combined their powers to support her. But Minnow was still extremely strong, controlling nearby electricity. Zero snapped his fingers, striking him with lightning, but it wasn't enough. Pillars cracked, statues fell, the steel frame beneath the hall was exposed. Below them, people were still praying to their god. Injured Minnow absorbed the water from the ground, healing all his wounds instantly. He threw everyone across the hall like ragdolls. Then he grabbed Lisa by the neck. Blood dripped from her mouth. He reached for Sophia next, but all five of them grabbed him together. Sophia quickly transferred Minnow's healing power into Lisa. Now Minnow had lost his regeneration ability, and Lisa had become far stronger. She beat Minnow like a punching bag. Soon, he collapsed unconscious. The building began collapsing over the worshippers below. The team held it together using their combined powers. But Minnow seized one last chance and lunged again, trying to steal their powers. Lisa's father spun around and kicked him hard. Minnow flew away, and they drained all his powers completely. He aged rapidly and slumped back onto his throne. Zero snapped his fingers, sending the throne and Minnow back down into the crowd. When his followers saw their god's real, old, helpless form, the truth was revealed. Minnow had lost everything. If you enjoyed this explanation, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss these epic movie breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Asterisk.